Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to be talking about a man's biggest fear versus a woman's biggest fear. So I thought about this the other day and it was really easy for me to figure out what a man's biggest fear was. I was like, that's so easy. But then I had to really sit and think about what a woman's biggest fear is. And then I was surprised to realize that how a man's biggest fear and a woman's biggest fear actually correlate with each other. So I'll explain that, during the video. So a woman's biggest fear is the fear of ending up alone. That's why it's so easy for us to go from relationship to relationship to relationship. It's easy for us to move on because, the fear of ending up alone, not being loved, not being wanted, not feeling desired, because we all want the Prince Charming, we all want to get married, have kids. Well, not all of us. Some of us don't want to get married. Some of us don't want kids. But we all want love, to feel in love, to fall in love. And just to have that person that you come home to and you get excited to see, the person that just gives you that, oh my god, feeling all inside. We all want that, And the fear of ending up alone really is daunting to us. Some of us attract all the types of wrong guys. Some of us attract the guys, that we don't necessarily deserve compared to the guy that we actually need or want. But sometimes we also need to change things in ourselves in order to attract the right kinds of people that we would ultimately desire, because what we usually attract is ultimately a reflection of who we are. Well, not always, but usually is the case. Right, so that is a woman's biggest fear, and I'll explain how it correlates with a man's biggest fear. So a man's biggest fear is being vulnerable. Right, when a guy gets his heart broken, he usually switches off, he becomes a fuckboy, he starts to date multiple women, or he just becomes completely switched off when it comes to love, and he just gives up on the concept altogether. Right, because when a guy does become vulnerable, when he opens up, he becomes very much attached, very much in love, and when that female disappoints him, it's something that it's hard for him to recover from. That's why he usually just gives up on love. That's why usually when a man loves a woman, he loves with his whole heart. That's why it's difficult for him to just hop into another serious relationship, because he knows what he felt before and he knows the fear of being vulnerable. It always takes a specific kind of woman for a guy to become vulnerable. And that is why it's a man's biggest fear, because they are much more emotional when it comes to that type of thing, because when they love, they really do. It takes a lot for a man. A man doesn't just come out of a 5-year relationship and just fall in love again as easily as a woman would, because we're used to being in tune with our emotions. But for a man, it's just so much more, and that's their biggest fear. And if you are in love, and if you find a guy that's willing to be vulnerable for you, that speaks volumes in itself. That's when you know this guy has got you. Because a guy would not become vulnerable and invest himself 100% in something that he does not love or cherish. So that is how you know. And when a woman is scared of losing her man, that's when you know that she's met a guy that she's willing to risk it all for. Because a woman is we're all scared of getting our hearts broken. But we open our hearts up much easier. Our hearts could get broken. My heart's been broken, but it's never stopped me from opening up my heart again. But when a man gets his heart broken, it takes a lot. It takes a significant type of female or person to open that up again, or to bring that emotional side out. So that's how it correlates. In order for a man to fall in love, to actually commit to a female, he needs to be vulnerable, he needs to be attached, sorry, and he needs to be 100% invested. That's when you know this guy has got you, he's got your back, and in order for a woman to fully be 100% with a guy, she needs to overcome her fear of ending up alone and actually believe that the guy that she's with has got her. And the only way she'll feel secure is if the guy is vulnerable. So ultimately they correlate and they fit in with each other. And ultimately boils down to the fact that we all want to be loved and we all want to fall in love. It just takes us overcoming our fears and allowing ourselves to open up. Because as much as we are scared of ending up alone, a guy is scared of investing his heart into the wrong person. So are we, and that's how my conclusion came up with the fact of a man's biggest fear is being vulnerable. Females are generally vulnerable. They're just scared of losing what they have. And a man is scared of getting heartbroken by the woman that he loves, right? So that's how they fit in with each other. And that's my conclusion. I'd love to hear your guys' comments on the video. And yeah, see you next time.